Hey, welcome back. Exciting time of the year when nurseries start to bring their plants. So I hit up a couple of the shops in my area and I was so pleased with the variety. So I'm going to share with you today what I have bought so far. If you are new here, I am just on the verge of zone 4 and 5. Our last hard frost has passed. We do have a light frost in the future, but I will have to cover some of these if we do get a heavier frost. So I was super excited to see that the nurseries in my area had not only annuals to do sort of like your spring porch decorating, when us gardeners just need to get our hands in the soil and decorate and see some color, but they also had a lot of shrubs and perennials. So I'm really excited to incorporate that as well into my spring porch makeover. That will be the next video. So first I will go over some of the things I picked up. So some of these things I picked up because I have a project coming up in my yard. I'm sort of revamping my orchard. Some of the old apple trees are not producing fruit anymore and I want to make it just a beautiful sort of English long border, but I need some structure. So that's where these things come in. So I've got 2 dwarf Alberta spruces right here, beautiful staple, deer resistant in my area, very cold hardy, and they stay very tidy. I don't need to prune them. They stay very compact and they don't grow too large. So I love these. These are a staple in my garden. And then the next thing, I have 3 of these, I believe, winter gem boxwoods. I don't have a tremendous experience with boxwoods. Winter gems do fine for me. There's another one that does fine for me. I don't notice the smell. I don't know which one has the bad smell, but these ones usually are fine for me. And again, they're just deer resistant, cold hardy. They stay nice and compact, but they add that structure that I think my new flower bed needs. The last structure plant would be this false cypress, and I believe this is called lemon thread. I just bought a golden mop and I have it in another area of my yard. So far I don't notice any nibbling from the deer, so I think this will also be a good option. I just love that chartreuse color that it brings in. When I was new to gardening, I went by that tried and true method of plant shopping. You know, the 4 colors. You need your green, your yellow, your red, and your blue. And I think that is usually a very pleasing effect in the garden. So obviously you can see I need some red still and I need some blue, but I've got a little bit of that too already in the yard. Okay, now moving on to some of the perennials. This is a new saxifrage for me. It's called rock foil saxifrage and it is dark pink early carnival. That is a mouthful. There are a lot of names in that. So I'm going to use these in my spring containers because obviously they're beautiful right now. But the beautiful thing is when I want to change out my pots, I can plant these in the landscape and have sort of double bang for my buck. I don't know why, but for so long I was restricting myself to just putting annuals in my containers and my front porch. Once I realized I can get perennials and plant them out in the yard and get, like I said, double bang for my buck, I just thought it was a no-brainer. So definitely love these. I think they're beautiful. And I just was going with the pink theme and I think they're perfect. Okay, and of course ranunculus. I started a bunch of these for cut flowers, which are growing on right now as we speak. But these are the tidier, more compact type that are perfect for containers. So I usually like to stick a couple of these in my spring containers because they are just so beautiful. Look at the ruffles on those petals. So pretty. Pansies, of course, another spring staple plant. And the colors on these were just so unique. I love that sort of bi-color. I guess I've seen these before, but I've never purchased these ones myself. So I'm really excited to have these sort of contrasting with my pinks. And then I have a couple carnations. So these are Odessa Twiggy, and they are pink flowers. And they are pink, as you can see. So again, I was going for the pink theme for these spring containers. Once these are done and I'm sick of them in the spring planters, I will plant them out in the landscape. And of course, when we walk by the hyacinth, we can't pass it up. The smell is just so intoxicating. I love the smell. So I've got 2 of these more purplish varieties. They haven't bloomed yet, so I'm thinking they'll give me a really nice long life in my spring planter. Another staple, primula, of course. These are just so pretty. I love that soft pink. I think they'll be perfect with my other selections as well. They did get hit by a harder frost at the store, so I've got to recoup them a little bit, but I think they'll be fine. And 2 more of these primulas, just a bit more of a darker magenta pink. Okay, and then crocus, the perfect sign of spring. So I've got 2 of the purples and then 2 of the white. And what I'm really excited about is the white has the variegated leaf on there. So really excited. So again, once these are done, I'll be planting them out into the landscape and they will hopefully return for years and years. Okay, and then I've got some limonium, which is called German status. I tried to start this from seed. It's a little bit more of a trickier one to grow from seed, so these are more insurance plants. The small perennial in these little pots is very affordable, so I might as well get 3 of these and just ensure that I have some. If you're not familiar with German status, it has beautiful blooms that are very similar to the annual status, but of course it's a perennial. And then I have some catmint. I love catmint or nepeta. It's just a no-fail for me in my yard. It does really, really well for us. So this is the pink cat nepeta. Really excited about this one. I only have purple nepeta, so of course it'll be nice to have a different variety. This one gets quite tall as well. I think, yeah, up to 18 to 24 inches. So I thought this would be a really nice consistent plant to sort of tuck into my long border to give it that nice flow. And then another new nepeta to me, I have Walker's Low. So this is Prelude Purple, so another new one for me, but it gets quite large as well. I think, yeah, 28 to 36 inches tall, 24 to 30 inches wide. So quite a large nepeta. And again, it'll probably give me a little bit slightly different color than my Walker's Low. So it's just nice to have variety of one of my favorite plants. Okay, and then I've got 2 of these Garas, and they are both Beliza Dark Pink. Really pretty on that. I love the color on those leaves. I think that's just such a bonus when you can get that burgundy leaf. And of course the colors of the blooms themselves are stunning as well. Really like this one. Gara is a new plant for me. I started it from seed and have yet to see the blooms, but really excited to try this one out as well. And this is Gold Heart Bleeding Heart, Dicentra. I think this is more of your typical bleeding heart, gets to be about 3 foot tall, sometimes even up to 4 foot tall in my experience. Just a very hardy, beautiful, fast growing perennial that I really love to have in the garden. And then I have 3 of these. These are Bellis English daisies, I believe they're called. And these are Pomponette Rose. Again, that pink theme. So I'm going to use these in my spring containers. Just love that pop of color, and you can see the yellow center is really pretty as well. I have these growing in my garden, but I only have the white. So I'm thinking the pink is definitely a necessity for me, someone who loves pink. Oh, I found another bleeding heart. Apparently I got 2 of those. Creeping Jenny. A lot of us use these in our pots, and it's just that great trailing interest out of your pots. So this is a great perennial if it's planted in the ground for me, but in containers I have to plant it every year if I don't transplant it before the winter comes. So yeah, love this one. Definitely a staple. Will always grow Creeping Jenny. And then I have 2 geraniums, and this is Mrs. Kendall Clark. And it gets to be quite a large one. I have a sort of low growing hardy geranium right now, and I think it's a cranesbill. I want to say it's a cranesbill. But this one's called, yeah, Mrs. Kendall Clark, and it gets to be 24 to 36 inches tall and then about 2 foot wide. So really excited to have a larger option for that because I do love my hardy geranium. It's just a really, really stunning plant. Okay, some more Garas, and these are Pink Cloud, and the color on that was just so nice. And again, this is another tall plant, 2 to 3 foot tall. I think it's going to be a really nice addition. Anything with, you know, interesting leaves, really, really pretty blooms, that's just a no-brainer for me. I have to grab it. And then I picked up 4 more of the sea lavender, but this one's just slightly different. The other one was a German status, and these are called sea lavender. They are both limonium, but just a different breed or subcategory, I guess. But yeah, just different color. This one's a little bit more pink. The other one was a little bit more white. This one also gets to be 24 to 30 inches tall. So I think it'll be a good one to cut off of. And again, it's a perennial, so it's a no-brainer. Well, that wraps up my haul. Really, really excited to get into the nurseries, see what they're offering this year. And of course, I can't wait to get these planted up. I will be waiting to do the yard planting once we're out of our frost. Like I said, we're still getting light frost at night. It'll be easy to cover sort of my containers near the house, plus they stay a little bit warmer, but I won't be doing yard planting for a little bit just because, you know, it's a little bit cold on the hands. But yeah, these could go in at any time, really. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you've picked up so far this spring. Like I said, it's just so exciting. After a winter, it's just so nice to get out and kind of see the color and just be immersed in our favorite hobby again. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.